Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to talk about a very special stat, revive speed, as opposed to stamina regen. Now, it was my opinion for the longest time that stamina regeneration was just kind of the best stat, and the game has honestly changed quite a lot since I said that. So I think it's kind of time to reevaluate things. The most important thing that's changed is just this patch with Bound by Duty, revive speed has now been changed to assist speed. So revive speed now just across the board does a lot more. And I think with these extra use cases and the changes to how the game actually plays, revive speed is just kind of better than stamina regen sometimes. A big theme of the Bound by Duty update is that you actually have to, if you want the true best in whatever you're doing, you actually kind of have to think for yourself a little bit, which is something I kind of appreciate. For example, if your weapon requires the use of push attacks constantly, you may very well still want to use stamina regen over revive speed. However, I think the use cases for for stamina regeneration as a it's good to have stamina leading into the fight type of thing is just completely dead. That was true back when Auric Maelstrom was the hardest thing in the game, and the game was more about aggressively pushing forward to be the one to take fights on your terms. Nowadays, especially in Havoc, fights are more about backtracking and trying to eke out whatever advantage you really can. And stamina just doesn't really help with that. So I've got some clips here to show you to hopefully provide some evidence of what I'm talking about. So this is a mutant grab situation with no revive speed. So you could see, you go for this revive, and the mutant is able to charge. Now, if this mutant had been any closer, I would have gotten grabbed. This revive would not have worked. This is with no revive speed. If this mutant was any bit closer, I would have just been screwed here. I would have gotten grabbed. And if that was a bad situation, like say that was your Flamestaff Psyker and you need them up, you're dead. You're probably just going to fail the run. So this is a very similar situation. A mutant just dings off the wall, and you can see he doesn't even get a chance to charge. Now, obviously, it doesn't entirely... It's going to depend on a lot of factors. Do you get the revive before the mutant finishes his charge, etc.? There's a million little variables. What's nice about revive speed is that it just stops the variables altogether. Okay, so here's where the differences start to become really noticeable. And honestly, this one change is kind of what convinced me that this buff is really strong. So that's how long it takes to pull someone up normally. It takes about 5 seconds to pull someone up. However, if you look at the pull up with revive speed, it is way, way faster. Now, you might ask, why does this matter? Well, think about one of the most, this game is about falling dominoes if you're ever going to actually lose. And usually, something that triggers the first domino to fall is one of your important team members, like say your frontliner, like the Arburator, or your AoE damage, like the Psyker, or maybe your defensive guy, like a Book Zealot. Something will happen while they're doing their thing. A boss will charge them from behind. A teammate will barrel them or something. They'll dodge off a ledge because there's a million fucking ledges you can walk right off of for some annoying reason, excuse me. And this leads to the domino effect starting, where the one critical role that was holding the team together has gone down, and you need to drop everything to save them, but, you know, you kind of can't. So this is the first thing that's changed. You now pick people up almost twice as fast from a ledge. And with maps like Silo Cluster, Gloriana being like two of the most played maps in Havoc, the current rotation, not only did revive speed get a massive buff that makes it worth it in general, but the current map rotation really incentivizes pulling people up. Okay. Now, this is just for reference. This is a regular revive with no revive speed. And you can see, had this Crusher, instead of kicking me, walked up doing an overhead, I would not have been able to get this revive. If this guy, right here, started an overhead, I would have had to give this up. Or, God forbid, there was 2 more guys hitting me, because another thing that's changed is you don't really want to run a flat stamina curio anymore. Excuse me, God. So this ends up meaning you now have less stamina to just stick revives, which means you do kind of have to find another way to make up with this. And revive speed is how you do it. So this is a res with revive speed. And for reference, for recording this, he wouldn't die, so we had to kill him with the fire. Don't actually revive people in fire. Though I will say, I've always wanted to talk about this. You can see that he does not take a whole lot of damage from this. If it's between... Okay, just completely off topic tangent. If it's between your team losing a critical roll for like 10 seconds while you don't revive them in the fire, and you're probably going to wipe because you're just getting overwhelmed and you absolutely need them to do their thing, like gold toughness or fire or whatever. I mean, fuck it, it's better than just a maybe win is better than a guaranteed loss, yeah? But anyway, look at how quick this is. And in case you'd already forgotten, look at this. So, this is a good way to replace regular stamina, because you just don't need the stamina if you're reviving like twice as fast. And here's the other thing that has changed. Rescues. So this is a rescue with no revive speed. I'm sure you can think of a million times where your back was to the wall, and this is the most impactful change. I honestly should have opened with this. This is the single most impactful change right here. There have been so many times where a rescue was right on the verge of happening. That rescue, let's say you rescue the Smite Psyker. They can hold back the Horde while you rescue the other guys. You've stabilized. You can win now. Or you're rescuing a veteran. They can shout, but that lets you both pick up a rescue. You can win now. But how many times have you been halfway into a rescue or more and you had to give it up? Boss, firebomber, overhead. Well, if you look... Because a rescue takes as well about 5 seconds. But if you look, you're looking at like not even 2 entire seconds for a rescue with revive speed. This is the biggest change right here. This basically doubles your time at which you can get people back up. And getting just one person up to take pressure off of you or pop their CC means you can get up your entire team in about the time that someone without revive speed can get up one person and then be halfway into getting another person, which is just absurd. This single change will actually win you a lot of games that would otherwise be losable. And as a bonus, here's another thing you can do. So you just heard the sniper shoot, right? Well, if you try to revive in front of a sniper without revive speed, you're probably gonna get shot. It's an incredibly tight window to not get shot. But with revive speed, so you hear he just shot again, this is easy. You don't even have to think about this. So revive speed allows you to pretty consistently get people up from mutant grabs without having to kill the mutant. On Havoc, when there might be 3 mutants in one area and you've got like 10 seconds to revive someone, that can absolutely be the difference between winning and losing. Same thing with reviving someone under threat of a sniper. Maybe your class, like I'm the Arborator, right? In an actual situation, let's say this guy's back here and we're back before the bridge. He's like 70 meters away. I'm the Arborator with a shotgun. What the fuck am I going to do about that sniper? Nothing. So if I can't revive you because there's a sniper there, I just have to helplessly sit there and do nothing and watch you die. Well, with revive speed, you can ignore mutants, you can ignore snipers, you can rescue faster, you can pull up faster. You can even get people out of trappers faster, but that's already so fast it really doesn't matter. It's just now that revive speed covers a whole range of things, and the situations that revive speed makes trivial are, like, really common now. I do believe that unless your weapon is in dire need of stamina regeneration, like, say, the power sword maybe, I think that revive speed is just kind of better across the board. I'll do a full video breaking down the curio meta in more detail because it's honestly changed quite a lot since the reworks. But anyway, I hope you found this video useful.